Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Cryptids and Monsters video. Once again, I'm doing a new entry here based on a new suggestion. This one having to do with one of the most original cryptids I have ever seen. In fact, when I was looking at the information associated with it, it is so original, so fascinating, so interesting that I just knew that I had to share it here. The only thing is there's very little info to share, so might be a small video of sorts, but I'll give all the information that I can, give my own thoughts and opinions on it as well. And what's interesting is that even though there's very little info on it, it has been featured in at least one media format, and I think a second one. And you'll see more in a minute as to why I think it's similar to it. But you're looking at pretty much the only image associated with it. Has a very interesting name as well. It's called the Typhoon Human. So let's go ahead and let's talk about all the info here. Let me know what you guys and gals think as well. So what is this Typhoon Human? Well, it's a creature that was found only once, and this was back in 2014, so a relatively new cryptid, and it was found there reportedly in Japan. It was in an area called Sagamihara, Kanagawa Prefecture. Hope I'm saying that correctly. And it was found by an anonymous, is that right? Radio MC. He saw this thing floating out there above the radio station, and he just happened to be at the right place at the right time and took that picture that you're looking at right now. Pretty interesting stuff, right? And the way that this creature is described is it's basically almost like a giant human, or almost a set of giant human body parts, but they're loosely connected. Like, in other words, they're not joined together, but they still form what could be almost along the lines of a giant human body. But it's there floating out there in the sky, and some people have relegated it to being another example of an atmospheric beast. This is one of my most favorite subjects, one of my most earliest videos as well. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, just type it in the search function, atmospheric beast, and then you'll see it's one of my earliest videos. And it's an amazing idea. The idea that there's cryptids out there that are just flying above in the skies, and they just happen to be seen every now and then. Who knows, though, what these body parts are made of? Who knows exactly what the true image is of this Typhoon Human? But it was apparently photographed again there at that location. There may be a second sighting, this one in another location. Let me see if I say this correctly. Tokaimura Ibaraki Prefecture. Hope I'm saying that correctly again, but it's there in Japan. But some people stated that they saw something that resembled a giant foot-like object also floating in the sky. So could they be related to one another? Who knows? Could they be completely separate as well? Who knows? But unfortunately, there was no proof, no images associated with that second encounter. But still, that was at least a close resemblance of what could have been another Typhoon Human. Pretty much the last thing to mention is that there's a cryptid researcher, someone who apparently likes to joke a lot, a guy by the name of Takeshi Nakazawa. He said that Typhoon Humans may actually be parts other than the nose, and then joked that humanity may have originated from these Typhoon Humans. I don't know if that's obviously like 100% true on that part. It's up to debate on that part too. But either way, that's at least another angle when it comes to the Typhoon Human and how it could be related to humans altogether. Now, I was mentioning earlier that it could be tied to media, and there's one example that is concrete. The Typhoon Human was featured in chapter 194 of something called Dandan, which you're looking at an image of here. Pretty distinct looking image as well. Pretty much showcases what the Typhoon Human should be. A bunch of body parts that are floating together as part of a body, but still separate, but still combined into one. And I don't know why there's sharks floating around there as well in the skies. But either way, that's essentially where this Cryptid made one of its encounters there in a media format. Now, where there may be a second encounter is this. You're looking at a creature that is called the Chronovore. This was featured in the wonderful book All-Star Superman. If you haven't had a chance to read that book, I highly recommend it. It is pretty good. It's one of the classics when it comes to the tales of Superman. But you can see there that this Chronovore almost resembles it, but almost doesn't when it comes to a Typhoon human. You can make out some body parts here and there, including a mouth, and I believe some of the other panels showcase eyeballs and so on. So there may be a chance that this Chronovore is almost a loose resemblance of the Typhoon human, or it could be just by sheer accident. Someone let me know if this was truly on purpose when it comes to it resembling something along the lines of a Typhoon human. And if you have that information, post it in the comments below. But that's pretty much it. That's everything associated with this fascinating creature. Another example maybe of an atmospheric beast. What do you guys and gals think? Let me know in the comments. And if those of you that are there in Japan, specifically in those areas I mentioned earlier, if you have more information to post, please do so below. All right, everyone. Thanks again as always. Take care.